Manchester United to kick off, still second after those two defeats, partly down to postponements because of the wintry weather, partly down to Tottenham freezing in front of two opportunities to move above them in the table. But ever since Gary Pallister made his United debut in 1989, Manchester United have had either Pallister or Steve Bruce, and of course mostly both of them in their league side. Tonight, just to stress again, they've got neither. Gary Neville, who was a centre-back in a very successful youth team here, so it's not a foreign position for him, although he is, of course, England's current right-back.
I think that's where he's fortunate, Alex. So two vastly experienced players out, but he has got two fairly experienced players to put in there, both of them comfortable in that area.
Cantona, comfortable in most areas. It's Roy Keane. Beckham. I'm not sure how much Peacock knew about the block that he made, but it was an important one. But Cantona. Here's Keane, that's the goalkeepers.
That's more like the Roy Keane I expect to see tonight, Martin. I thought although he played wonderfully well against Leeds, I thought his job there was more of a defensive one. He was more controlled. Now I would expect him to be doing what he did then, going forward, trying to make things happen there. And I agree with you, I'm not so sure Dan Peacock knew an awful lot about the Beckham shot.
Well, here's Rob Lee. But you can expect plenty of motoring from Manchester United tonight, in front of their own fans again. It's Giggs to Cole! Well, Newcastle know all about him, and they're on the receiving end. Alex Ferguson is thrilled, Andy Cole is thrilled.
What a magnificent strike. And I bet you had he not scored at Leeds, he wouldn't have scored tonight. Watch the ball from Giggs, quite magnificent. The finish, even better. That is all about Andy Cole. That is the quality this boy possesses. Takes it first time, that was a difficult thing. But look at the accuracy, look at the power he got in from the side foot. It's a magnificent finish from Andy Cole.
And here's Ferdinand trying to reply straight away in kind for Newcastle. Beardsley, well, he missed his kick, it's a corner, but what a hubbub at Old Trafford.
Oh, what a start for the match. We talked about big matches. If they get an early goal, they can turn into classics. Very much like the clash at Ellen Road. We have an early goal here. Well, could this yet be another classic? Thanks to that man.
But not just an early goal, a Cole goal. Ginola over the corner. Well, in his 22 months, Andy Cole at Newcastle, he became a legend in his own time, and rightly so, for this type of finishing ability.
I think the surprise from Pavel Srnicek as he took it first time. I honestly thought he'd take a touch, but look at the joy on the bench.
Irwin, Cantona. Barton's not at his best in the air. It's Keane's shot. It was well directed.
He's happy to take it on the full as well, the goalkeeper. You know, this sitting about a yard in front of him may have posed him a few problems off this surface.
Irwin, there's no offside here. It's Cantona. Still, Cole's in the centre. Giggs coming from deeper. And now Cole, another side of goal. That might well have been going in as well. He's got the range.
That was a great block from Peacock. Again, I'm not so sure how much he knew of it, but he made himself big. I wonder if Keith Gillespie's got a problem. He stayed down. Great skill from Cantona, far right. He looked up, he saw that Cole was a difficult ball, and he picked out Giggs. Watch the way he makes a lovely bending run to keep himself onside. Now look, it's a difficult ball once he's beaten Howie to find Andy Cole. But he has a little look and he picks out Giggs. And as Cole peels away, he's thinking, I'm going to bend this far corner. Darren Peacock made himself a big target.
Newcastle, for the moment, playing with 10. Philip Neville. Steve Watson is now stripped and waiting to come on, but it's Cantona taking Newcastle over. Keane.
Good try, good effort. Cantona again, the orchestrator, conducting it all, gets involved deep, comes and picks it up, always looking to pick players out who are free, dragging players in before he releases it, and that gives Keane the time and space to have a shot at goal. Just dragged it across the face a little.
There's strength to go with the skill and sophistication of Cantona's game. The Giggs and Butt get in each other's way, and it's Howie and it's Ferdinand, and there's no flag, but he couldn't emulate Andy Cole at the other end.
Well, they just get a little bit confident, overconfident in the midfield area. They got sloppy, that's what they did. And I think Les Ferdinand right on the edge of being offside, but he couldn't do what Tony Yeboah did so well at Ellen Road. Schmeichel, we've talked about how good he is, how big he keeps himself. He does it again, stays big, spreads himself so well, and he gets fortune when it hits the inside of his heel and goes for a corner.
Taken by Watson. Howie got to it. Beresford plotting it well as it dropped. Lee nicking it away from Keane. Watson. Lee. Watson again. First touch wasn't very good. Giggs trying to clip it for Keane, but there was too much curl on it. The best spell so far from the league leaders. Ginola having a try down the right-hand side. And Schmeichel showing that he's certainly, like his colleagues, very much aware of the responsibilities in this match.
Well, he's brilliant when he gets wide and he gets inside, outside players, and we know he can provide quality. And Peter Schmeichel, I think, knowing that they're a little bit short in height, I think with Bruce and Pallister around, he might have left that for one of them. But he's got to take on a little bit more responsibility in that department.
Manchester United really going about their business as the side that has been saying all along, all the sound emanating from the Old Trafford camp, we have to win. They are leading, but they face Steve Watson here. Ginola, no one going in on it. Ferdinand was standing on the edge of the area.
Well, it was a shot, simple as that he didn't quite get. I mean, it ends up a decent ball, in all honesty. And maybe had Peter Beardsley gambled a little going in on it, he might well have got on the end of that. But there's no doubt he was going for the shot.
Well, it's 1-0 to Manchester United as we come towards half-time. Manchester United have only kept 5 clean sheets in 19 league games to this point, which is most untypical of them. David May has a problem, and Alec Ferguson has had so many difficulties with his central defenders. Bruce and Pallister out, Paul Parker down with flu, and David May picking up a problem right on half-time, and that wrestle with Ferdinand.
Well, David May did exactly what he should do. He just stands his ground and lets the ball drift harmlessly, and Les Ferdinand just well. A little bit of frustration there, I'm sure, from Les.
But it's Brian McClare, even at this stage, who seems to be getting ready to come on. You would expect them to perhaps wait until half-time unless the diagnosis is that serious and something that can be determined that quickly.
Well, it's going back on, I think. So the tracksuit's going back on.
That would be the sensible approach, yeah.
Unless they're so definite.
Gives them an extra 15 minutes before making a decision, because it is half-time. So many rallying cries coming out of Old Trafford today, and Andy Cole has answered them with a goal against the club where he really made his reputation. Newcastle beaten only twice this season. 1-0 at Southampton, 1-0 at Chelsea. They're 1-0 down at Old Trafford. Andy Cole has seen to that. So far so good for Manchester United to this point. McClare, Cantona. Cole and Beckham attracted to the same ball, which wasn't played with a true accuracy. Cech taking exaggerated care with his kicking. Beardsley trying to thread it through for Ferdinand. Now, if the referee had called that a foul by Phil Neville, the young defender would have been in serious trouble. Ferdinand fell. Well, it looked a foul, I have to say, Mark. There's a great ball from Beardsley. Slicks it across the surface. Look at it pick up pace, and Les lets it run. Well, it's clumsy, but he certainly catches Les Ferdinand. I think he is attempting to get the ball, but Les just uses his body to try and turn away from him, and he gets caught. And I think the fact that Roy Keane was around, and all things being equal, I don't think that the red card would have been shown had the free kick been given. But I certainly thought it was a free kick. Well, Steve Watson staying in the Keith Gillespie position. There's no doubt that that injury has hampered Newcastle. I suppose Kevin Keegan's got the option of moving Rob Lee out there. He's played there before, but that's changing another aspect of the team. Well, he has made one change, Martin, at half-time. That's David Ginola, who's playing up front alongside Les Ferdinand at the moment. Peter Beardsley's tucked in this left side. And perhaps they felt that Les had a little bit lack of support in the first half. And Ginola's performance against Nottingham Forest was such a good one in that type of area, in the central area. For 45 minutes he played up there in the first half and scored, of course, so and they switched it in the second half. You know, we need a bit more of that. Well, it might suit both parties, Ginola and Beardsley. And if it does, it could help Newcastle get something from this crucial game. But Beckham for Cole, and Giggs off the top of the bar. What a glorious chance for Giggs. Did everything right, lifted it, got it up over the goalkeeper. But Cole's run here was superb, off the back of Darren Peacock, and the ball through to him, a great one. He just knocks it for Giggs. Goalkeeper stayed big. You could see what Ryan was trying to do, just trying to curl it with his right foot, looking for accuracy, bend it past the goalkeeper. He thinks he's done it, so do the fans. So frustrating as it just hits the top of the woodwork. Irwin, Beckham took that very well. And he keeps it in. Cantona keeping running. Tracked by Lee. Corner for Manchester United. Which appeals to the considerable sense of adventure possessed by Roy Keane, who's made a long run up to add some aerial power. There isn't too much in this Manchester United side. Beckham bends it in. Retrieved by Cole. Phil Neville. Keane wants it again, and Keane has got it. Roy Keane for Manchester United. That's absolutely wonderful. Oh, what a finish. What a ball from Beckham. The way he looked up, Ryan Giggs almost had a go at him for not giving him a short pass, but Beckham looked up, spotted Keane's run round the back, and what composure. Look at the way, watch Giggs come into the picture. Look, he wants it. Give me it, he's saying, give me the ball. You can't have it, he says. I've spotted something. When you want composure, well, Roy Keane had all of that and more. What a finish. Roy Keane makes it 2-0, and Newcastle United are rocking here, and they've been cut apart by quality. It was Philip Neville, Andy, who played it on the far side. They're all young, those boys, all I can say. Now, what can Kevin Keegan's men come up with in some real adversity here? All right, you could say that they can afford to lose this game. They certainly won't be saying that. And sometimes for the front runners, well, it is a very long race to win from the front. And there was a chance to get one back for Lee Clark. That's half a chance, isn't it? In fact, it's more than that.
right when you're normally at your weakest, you're most vulnerable, right after you score. Look at the edge of the box, 18 yarder, look how open he is. It's just a bit unlucky, it was just on the way up as he made contact with it, and he just helped it up into the air. Now listen to this place.
Watson, now Barton. I just feel they might be putting in a few crosses for Les Ferdinand from any sort of angle. This is a good angle, and it's over Ferdinand. But Schmeichel is the main defensive bastion in the air. Giggs, Beckham is clear. Goalkeeper comes, saves well. Cole follows up.
Wow, what a great double save from Srnicek. I'm sure he got on the band of Coles as well. But what a break from Manchester United. 4 against 3 they had. Schmeichel spotted it so quickly. Giggs demanded it. And watch this for a ball. Through it is, he comes out, great block there. Cole thinks I've got it. Again, Srnicek spreads himself well. Super double save from the goalkeeper.
Beresford. Here's Clark. Barton's on the move. Rob Lee has spotted him. Warren Barton lets fly, and judging from Schmeichel's lack of reaction, it was always going to go well wide. But of course, after that comes the typical Schmeichel reaction to berate somebody for allowing Barton to have the temerity to try and score.
Well, I think he was just saying to Philip Neville, you know, close him down a bit quicker, and then Philip Neville just having a little go at his captain Eric Cantona, who just let Warren Barton run off him really.
Off the pitch, Cantona's in the middle, Peacock, it's neither one thing or the other, so Cole flashes it across the face of the goal.
Great effort. He's apologised, I think, for the first ball that he didn't quite pick out Eric Cantona with. He really shaped his body very well to deal with the second one and hit it well. You know, he's trying to just face this across for Eric Cantona and didn't really get enough on it. But as this comes back to him, just watch the way he shapes his body. Trying to bend it in that far corner, and he almost got enough bend on it.
Plenty of room here for Beardsley, the centre circle to himself for a moment. Ginola. Well, Keane was straining, but they did enough.
Got enough on it, didn't they? Just got to be careful they don't back off too deep at times. Just invite this sort of cross into the 6-yard area.
Watson is in there. Keane climbed beautifully again. Cantona poised again in possession for Manchester United. Giggs will get to this one. Cole is free. Beautifully played. Andy Cole goes in. Oh dear.
He's unlucky. There's a horrendous bobble. But again, there's a threat, isn't it? You're defending 1 minute, you're attacking, as Newcastle were. Suddenly you're almost conceding a third. And had it not been for a nasty bobble just as he pulled the trigger, it might well have been a third.
It's the highest attendance in the FA Carling Premiership this season.
Befitting the importance of the game.
Lee. Yes, they're going to have to play like champions over the last 10 minutes. When over 80, they found it difficult to come up with the credentials. I'm just thinking Schmeichel would probably tell you, but for that save from Les Ferdinand, it would be a bleak picture for Manchester United. Oh, and Srnicek had to make sure he got plenty behind that from Butt.
Well, it zipped across the surface again. Anything that's hit along the surface will pick up speed. And just as it bounces a couple of times, bending away from the goalkeeper. Let's look at the red shirts in the picture, Mark. 2 banks of 4 back there now, 8 defenders.
And it needed a defender to intervene. Schmeichel was attracted towards it, but Gary Neville said, I'll deal with that one, come on. A clean sheet is a fantastic achievement here with depleted forces at the back.
Yeah, this was a good header.
Ferdinand.
Well, that was the danger, that was the threat we've talked about all second half, and we're now in the 84th minute, 85th minute, and it's about the first time they put one in the area that Ferdinand can get up and attack. But even then, Roy Keane's just doing enough, just nudging him in the back a little bit to make the header an uncomfortable one.
Free kick's been given against Andy Cole. No, it's the final whistle. Well, necessity, the mother of invention. And when Manchester United badly needed to rediscover their winning touch, they've done so. Two terrific goals. Andy Cole early in the first half, and Roy Keane early in the second half.